10:15, you're listening to So 973. I want to go to the pub as soon as possible. If the COVID status certificate allows me to do that sooner rather than later, what possible problem can there be? That's a simplistic, selfish entry-level question, and you can extend it into any corner of existence that you please. Okay, hit the numbers now. You will get through. It's 10:16.
This is James O'Brien. Call 0345 6060 973. This is LBC.
We all have our own personal relationship. How we spend, save and budget. Our goals and dreams for the future. This is your Moneyverse, and it's as unique as you are. And the Barclays app can help you master it. Help you see how you're spending and any upcoming scheduled payments, so you can make a clear plan for your money. Master your Moneyverse and make money work for you. Barclays. You need to be 69. The app. T's and supply.
Now's the perfect time to get behind APR representative range until the 28th of February. 36 months. Order by the 28th of February until the 30th of April 2021. Stock vehicles only. T's and C's apply. VRS models. Indemnities may be required. Go to financial services.
Imagine if switching mobile networks was as easy as this.
Weather report. Temperatures dropped by 5 degrees. Rapper what?
Now it is. Just send a text to your mobile network and you're ready to leave and switch to Sky Mobile in an instant. Start from £6 a month with unlimited streaming on all Sky apps. Sky Mobile. Hello possible.
For full terms and conditions, see sky.com/mobile switch.
Have you heard how much more is coming to Disney Plus with Star?
I haven't, but I get the feeling you're about to tell me.
There's loads more shows like Grey's Anatomy, Ugly Betty, Sons of Anarchy, 24, I Met Your Mother, Lost, Desperate Housewives,
I
Family Guy, Scandal Break, Modern Family, Blackish, The X-Files.
What? On Disney Plus?
Yeah, and loads more movies. The Favourite, Deadpool 2, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Fault in Our Stars, Moulin Rouge, Independence Day.
Hang on. This is all coming to Disney Plus?
Yeah. Plus, more brand new originals every month like Big Sky, Love Victor, Solar Opposites and Maelstrom.
Okay, got it. And just to be clear, on Disney Plus?
Bingo. Introducing Star on Disney Plus. A whole new world of entertainment now streaming. 18 plus subscription required. T's and C's apply.
Getting the car you want, but not all the features you want. Standard. Unless you choose the fully loaded Grandland X Griffin Edition with absolutely everything as standard. Now $280 a month plus 601 initial rental. Vauxhall. All Griffin. No bull. Search Vauxhall Grandland X Griffin Edition. Personal contract hire on Grandland X Griffin Edition 1.2 Turbo. Subject to state and C's 18 plus. Initial rental 2601 plus 47 months at 2.9. 32,000 total contracted mileage. You will not own the car. Limited availability while stocks last. Vauxhall Finance Leasing.
Quick check. Credit limit of up to £1,500 when you need it. Check if you're eligible at ocean.co.uk without it affecting your credit score. It takes a minute. Intelligent Lending Limited is a credit broker. One is the exclusive lender. Representative 39.9% APR variable. Borrow and spend responsibly. The Ocean Credit Card. There for when you need it most. At ocean.co.uk.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with James O'Brien.
I've got a caveat, but I'm going to save it. I use as a zinger when a caller fails to realise in advance what the caveat is. Something that may allay some concerns you have with the idea of a so-called vaccine status certificate. But with no further ado, Jerome's in Clapham. Jerome, what would you like to say?
Worry. Also, like when would they be implementing such a thing? Would that be in the very near future? I work for the NHS, but a lot of people who are under the age of 60, right? Another gripe I've got. It's very strange to me because the ethnic minorities in London, especially where I live, have still got large reservations about the vaccine.
Why?
And
Why, Jerome? Why do we think that? I know they do, but in your sort of experience, what are the objectives?
I know the fertility thing is a big deal to them. The fact
what I am only interested in why you don't like something. So we've already mentioned medical conditions, which my cautious response is that it will only be a temporary arrangement, and it's something that gets everybody into circulation sooner than later. It just means some people will stage 2 circulation as opposed to stage 1. And yeah, I mean, if you have turned down the vaccine, then you could argue that you've been discriminated against, which is where I bring my zinger in. But I'm going to wait for the caller before I unsheathe my zinger. 2 minutes after 10 is the time. Shuggy is in Southgate. Shuggy, what would you like to say?
Morning, James.
Hello.
What I'd like to say is, yes, I'm broadly in favour of the vaccine certificate or passport, whatever you want to call it, because it's been done before. Yellow fever, blah blah blah. It's not beyond the wit of man to do these things. My concern is that, like at the start of the pandemic, it seems that one of the overriding ideas is that we can monetize this. So if you give it to the government to look after this scheme, Boris has already spoken about the great complexity.
Listen, I don't want to sound grouchy. Well, all right, I will. I want to know about the theoretical, philosophical principle of the idea, because you're absolutely right. Depending on who's put in charge of it, it end up being a complete. Well, it could either go Dido Harding or it could go Kate. We're all going to hope it goes Kate Bingham. Well, it's going to go a bit Dido Harding, aren't we? And that doesn't work. Today we're having it's a philosophy seminar today. Have you got a problem with it based on ethics, for example, or law? Ethical or legal concerns?
No, I don't think legal concerns. It's a simple, and there's no reason why people who are not allowed to have the vaccine for whatever reason, whether it be medical, religious, blah 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 blah, they can have a certificate too, the passport too, saying they haven't had it and this is the reason why. Yes,
that's not quite my zinger. I'm going to keep my zinger sheathed for now, but there is a zinger ready to be revealed at this point. And I mean, Shuggy also dances around or leads me to the other point to make, which is there will be some people who can't benefit from this, but they shouldn't necessarily be the reason why nobody can. Do you see what I mean? So either, let's say you could go into the on May the 1st. This is all about the skies the ones that Boris Johnson uses, all right? So don't read anything into them at all. May the 1st, if you've got the certificate, you can go into the pub. By August the 1st, you won't need it at all. If we don't bring in the certificate, everybody's going to have to wait until August the 1st. Complete theoretical, pie-in-the-sky theorising, but I don't think people who won't be able to use it in May should be the reason why no one can use it in August. My zinger might solve this. Simon's in Reading. Simon, what would you like to say?
Morning, great, James. I just had to say that.
Did you say what? It sounded like morning, great, James.
No, since time.
Okay, well, I think I might make that a new rule. I might make that a new rule. Carry on, Simon.
I just had to say it's the right type, whatever vehicle you have a licence for.
And therefore, driving discriminates against people who don't have driving licences. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point.
The only caveat on that is basically the first caller brought it up, in that there are some communities that are more reluctant for either good reasons or bad reasons to take up the vaccine, then you could be inadvertently, it could end up being an inadvertent racist policy.
Because there's a first caller touched on this, because hesitancy is disproportionately prevalent in ethnic minority communities for a whole host of valid reasons, and of course, sadly, unfounded but not unhinged hesitancy. Why should I suffer because you don't trust the science? Do you see?
I see both sides of it, but that's sort of my only thing that's for me sort of is a bit of a hesitancy about that sort of blanket. It's up to you whether you get it or not.
So let this sort of think it out loud. Relying on the Times leader for a couple of other articles, because it has been snuck out by the Prime Minister, largely because it's a direct contradiction of what all of his senior politicians were saying right up until the point he said the post in public. So we'd be theatres probably, we'd be thinking clubs, nightclubs. Does employers put a different complexion on things if it moves from the realms of the social to the professional? It doesn't feel the same to me. It feels like there are bigger issues at play if you can't return to your workplace?
Again, my wife is in care work, and she's been fortunate enough. She's had a vaccine now.
First half.
Again,
It's really.
yeah.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah. I think it's already been shown that the vaccine prevents, cuts down your ability to get it and pass it on. If you're working in a care home, then surely for your employer to say, well, hang about, we don't want you bringing this disease into our care home.
Yeah.
To cut down on we require to have this vaccine.
A care home, of course, seems to be a more acute example, and there are very worrying reports about low take-up rates in some care homes. I do wonder whether a distinction would need to be made and social places. Looking at theatres, looking at pubs, you're looking at clubs, football stadiums, of course, sports stadiums, and then if you can't